Welcome back to the boss mode walkthrough series. This is chapter 9, Rite Fortress in boss mode. The boss mode mechanic for this one is sort of a unique one. It doesn't come around very often, but all of the enemies have the shifty trait. If you're not familiar with the shifty trait basically means that they dodge a lot of stuff. It's not the same as the one where you can't hit them unless it's a critical, but it's kind of annoying like that, where they dodge a lot of stuff. So if you're watching me pick my heroes here, it looks like we're going for the standard speed team again. Indigo and Kira both do a lot of damage and crit quite frequently. However, I'm going to switch things up, and because of the shifty trait, I actually am going to use High King Valken. I've put a lot of stock into Valken early on. As soon as he came out, I found his mechanics to be really interesting. I liked all the different procs that he has. Plus, if you run an energy team, depending if you've played around with Valken, you can almost keep his artillery skill up all the time, which is really handy. Plus, because he's a dwarf, that shifty trait really means nothing to me. So really it just comes down to keeping that energy up and just spam that artillery, and you'll slowly kill these guys. Between Kira and Indigo, they're also going to do a ton of damage to these guys, so it's not a huge issue. It's not going to be near as slow as that champion mode mechanic. So if we can get the normal energy mechanic up with Indigo and Echo, we'll be able to just keep on spamming. And even though we don't have a true healer here, which honestly we don't need, that's the biggest downside to this. If you're expecting to get heals whenever you're using the speed team, you have to be extremely cautious about where you're spending your skills and how you're doing stuff. So we can see that shifty trait's already kicking in. So there's the innate ability to dodge attacks. And so far, this I was a little surprised, as I thought these guys were hitting. That's part of the reason why I checked on the stats. I thought maybe he had the other one that said that you couldn't hit him unless you criticaled. I was surprised that he dodged all three of those guys in a row, because usually they have pretty good hit chance. So. But we made it through unscathed, and Indigo was able to go in and get a couple more criticals and get us back in the right direction. I generally recommend using your AoEs as much as possible with those first two guys. Obviously, Valken's going to do really well and hit those guys, but he also doesn't do near as much damage as someone like Kira. With Kira being a high-level epic, it's possible that Valken may not dish out the damage. I haven't put my best runes on him yet, but he does have decent ones. I have a few friends that use him on a regular basis, so I like to keep his damage up a little bit, so I'm not letting those guys down. But we can see that Valken is also burned as well, so we have to be cautious about that. We're not going to get any heals, so it's a matter of how we're going to get that health back. Honestly, the burn should expire before it does any serious damage. We see here this is the first time where, because of the skills that I use, my artillery isn't up anymore. I wanted that double hit the last time, so essentially what I did here is I chose to not do the fear maneuver. That one just wasn't very beneficial for where we are in this stage here. So get a couple of crits, get some energy back here, and ultimately I just want to get Valken back to his artillery so that we can freeze enemies again and not be in danger of getting hit by anything. Because he took some damage from that fire, really can't afford for him to be taking any pot shots from anyone. Get some more energy back from a couple of them. They do have the dodge, but at this point here, Valken's going to have his energy back, so we should be pretty much safe. Plus Kira, doing his thing, he's actually taking care of those guys and making quick work of them. So dealing with the boss room here comes down to basically how do you want to play it. As suggested in previous ones, you probably want to commit to a friend here, or maybe even two of them. We don't have a healer here, so if we don't clear out this room quickly, you're looking at a revive potion to kind of fix things. Now, I make sure that I like to bring revive potions along, so it wasn't going to bother me too much. You saw when I first loaded, I hadn't 3-starred this one. I actually hadn't even played this dungeon yet up to this point. So when I was playing it, I wasn't planning on losing that 3-star. So my goal here was to do the little bit of damage that I could, and then ultimately secure the 3-star rating with friend help. So you can kind of guess who I'm planning on picking here. There's only a few that I pick for boss mode runs because we want to guarantee. And you may have guessed it. We're going to go with Kozar. Now, historically, he's been kind of underwhelming against these guys. So this time here, whoever this friend was here, they've obviously put some extra work into him and killed all 3 of those, which was very pleasing to me because then Kira can just come in and help mop up. And even Echo gets to throw an attack on there now. But I chose to do the Energize for the extra attack because I thought maybe Valken could finish him off. I didn't want her to get an extra attack, so we use this double attack, and he's able to kill her with the extra little attack buff. So if you want to get creative, like I said, Valken's a good one. I know a lot of people don't have him start up, but if you want to try a different team, Cobalt will probably work as well. But give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Otherwise, we can always try some other teams if need be. Otherwise, we'll stick around for the other half of Chapter 9, which is going to be the Astro Magus Capital. Thanks for watching. Stop by again.